When the electricity fails and your home turns into a freezer, your phone becomes useless. But there are simple objects that older generations have relied on for decades to survive blackouts, ice storms, and electrical collapses. In this video, you'll discover the survival items that actually work. Not trendy gadgets or expensive gear, but tools proven in extreme situations. Stay until the end. Number 2 is so simple yet surprising that it could save your life, and even your fingers. Here, we cut through the noise and focus on practical advice to protect you and your family this winter. Let's start with something that seems obvious, but most people completely ignore. 18. Long, thick wax candles. When everything goes dark, basic thick candles become your best ally. They're not decoration, they're survival. They provide steady light, a bit of warmth, and that sense of calm that prevents panic. Stored in glass jars and stacked like supplies, they burn for hours without relying on batteries or electricity, working even when everything else fails. During a long blackout, having a simple, functional candle reserve is what separates those who move safely from those left lost in the dark. 17. Socks. While cotton socks feel comfortable when you put them on, in extreme cold, they can become a trap because they retain moisture and make your body lose heat when you need it most. Wool, on the other hand, keeps you warm even when wet. That's why people who've lived through harsh winters always treat them like a small treasure at home. Wearing them in layers, sleeping with them during blackouts, or keeping an extra pair in the car isn't overkill, it's basic survival. When cold seeps up from the floor and every degree matters, a simple pair of wool socks can be the difference between discomfort and real danger. 16. Instant coffee. When everything outside becomes uncertain, and even a simple blackout can last for days, a cup of instant coffee stops being a luxury and becomes an emotional anchor that brings calm and clarity in the middle of chaos. With just hot water and a spoon, many people, especially older generations, create a small ritual that provides warmth, energy, and a sense of control when everything else fails. Some even mix it with cocoa to improvise a comforting drink that lifts morale during the hardest moments. That's why keeping jars of instant coffee at home, in the car, or in an emergency bag isn't a whim. It's a simple yet powerful way to protect your mind when the world turns unpredictable. 15. Batteries. Experienced people know that in an emergency, electricity is fragile. That's why they don't just store a few batteries, they build a system. They organize them by size, rotate them, and even tape spares to flashlights, radios, and detectors so they don't waste seconds when everything goes dark. During a long blackout, a simple battery-powered radio can be your only connection to the outside world and to real information. Having CD and 9V batteries ready and in good condition is the difference between being blind or staying in control. In the chaos of a storm or crisis, batteries aren't a minor detail, they're a silent barrier against isolation. 14. Can opener. Such a simple object that many underestimate, but in an emergency it can mean the difference between eating or not. A manual can opener. That old, reliable tool that doesn't depend on electricity or fragile technology. When the power is out and stress kicks in, it still works, even with tired hands or in complete darkness. That's why it's smart to keep one in the kitchen, another in the car, and one more in your emergency kit. Not just any cheap model that breaks after a few uses, but a sturdy one you test once a year to make sure it really does its job. Because when you're surrounded by canned food and hunger hits, that small can opener becomes the most silent and valuable hero. 13. Cash. When everything shuts down and systems stop responding, digital money is useless and cash takes over again. That's why experienced people don't keep just one large bill, but many small ones, well distributed and protected. Having 20s, 10s, and 5s allows you to buy food, pay favors, or trade for what you need when no one accepts cards. The key is simple and powerful. Keep your cash in safe, discreet places, ready to use. Because in a crisis, those ordinary bills can be your real lifeline. 12. Paper maps. Something almost no one in this generation takes seriously is paper maps. But when GPS fails, your phone dies, or a storm cuts all communication, they become your best ally. Unlike apps, they don't rely on signal or electricity and show real routes, detours, and roads without digital errors. Keeping them waterproofed, with gas stations and alternative routes marked, can save you hours or get you out of a dangerous situation. In the middle of chaos, that folded map in the glove box can be the difference between getting lost or making it home safely. 11. Vinyl gloves. Something as simple as vinyl gloves can become your best ally when everything turns cold, wet, and dangerous. They're flexible, cheap, and let you keep working even when the weather and chaos ruin everything outside. They're useful for cleaning, repairing, cooking, or handling dirty items without risking your hands, which are your most valuable tools when there's no water, soap, or comfort. In a tough scenario, keeping your hands dry, protected, and functional isn't a luxury. It's one of the keys to survival. And you? Are you prepared? Or are you just waiting for the emergency? Write it in the comments. I want to read your answer. 10. Hard candy. Let's talk about something small but powerful. Hard candy, which in cold, stressful, or emergency situations can become an immediate source of energy and calm. Sugar helps maintain body temperature and prevents dizziness or shaking. They don't expire, don't require water or preparation, and that's why many people keep them in their coat, car, or next to the bed as a silent backup for tough moments. During a blackout or prolonged crisis, a single candy can be that quick boost of glucose and reassurance that keeps you going when you need it most. 9. Matches. When cold shuts everything down, fire becomes your best ally. That's why matches that light on any surface remain lifesavers when lighters fail due to ice or run out of gas. Stored in airtight containers and protected from moisture, these small sticks can light a stove, a candle, or an emergency fire right when you need it most. In a frozen, dark world, keeping them dry and ready is what separates making it through the night from losing the battle against the cold. 8. Aluminum foil. That common kitchen item can become your best ally when everything fails. Aluminum foil is lightweight but incredibly powerful. It helps retain heat, improvise shelters, protect against cold, cook without electricity, and even signal for help by reflecting light. Used properly, it can cover windows to retain warmth, wrap footwear to insulate from ice, redirect heat from radiators, or create trays in emergency stoves when there's no kitchen. That's why many experts keep it at home, in the car, or in the garage. Because in an extreme situation, aluminum foil stops being just a roll and becomes a true survival tool. If you want to be ready for any emergency, subscribe and join our community. 7. Notebooks. When everything collapses, signal, electricity, and batteries, your smartphone becomes useless. And the only thing that keeps working is what's simplest. A notebook with key contacts. Memorize numbers and notes like who has a generator or knows first aid. Because during a blackout, landlines and paper information remain your bridge to the world. Keeping neighbors, family members, doctors, and emergency contacts written down in multiple places, along with a physical map, can be the difference between being isolated or finding help and a safe route. In a real chaos scenario, old school basics aren't nostalgia, they're survival. 6. Duct tape. When everything fails and there are no technicians or spare parts, simple duct tape can become your best ally. It seals windows against the cold, patches leaks, repairs boots, and even reinforces gloves to keep hands warm. Keeping several rolls, preferably in different colors, helps you organize each fix and remember what's already been repaired. Store them in the car, kitchen, or any emergency kit. It's cheap, lasts for years, and in the middle of chaos, it provides those temporary solutions that make all the difference until things return to normal. 5. Portable water filters. In a long blackout, simple beats modern. A strong rope lets you move, secure, and improvise when everything else fails. And a good water filter becomes your greatest ally, because bottled water runs out fast when pipes freeze or sources get contaminated. Having portable filters at home, in your backpack, and in your car gives you access to safe water from streams, melted snow, or rain, without fuel or electricity. In a real crisis, these small devices mark the difference between surviving independently or getting seriously sick when there are no doctors, no apps, and no outlets to save you. If you have extra survival tips, share them in the comments. 4. Multi-tools. High-quality multi-tools are like carrying an entire workshop in your pocket. Pliers, blades, screwdrivers, saws, and more, ready to get you out of trouble when space and time are against you. Keeping one in the car, one in your backpack, and one in your emergency kit, properly lubricated and checked, means you can repair, cut, open, or improvise without depending on anyone else. In a crisis, that small tool is the difference between waiting for help and becoming the person who actually solves the problem. 3. Emergency blankets. As silly as they may sound, emergency blankets are one of the best kept secrets for surviving extreme cold. Those thin silver sheets can wrap your body, your car, or your shelter and create a microclimate that traps heat and prevents rapid loss. Used over the shoulders, head, or inside a tent, they multiply the effect of hats, gloves, and thermal socks. And best of all, they're cheap, weigh almost nothing, and fit in any backpack or glove compartment. In a world without heating, this simple blanket can be the invisible line between staying alive or slipping into dangerous hypothermia. 2. Hand warmers. When extreme cold hits and the power goes out, those small hand warmers stop being a luxury and become pure survival. Keeping your fingers warm means being able to open, grip, light, and function. That's why experienced people store them in pockets, boots, gloves, and emergency kits, using them as portable heat sources that protect against frostbite. They're light, almost invisible, but during a winter blackout, they can be the silent line between suffering and making it out alive. Before revealing number 1, share this information with your family. 1. Rope and paracord. A strong, reliable rope combined with a spool of lightweight paracord can become your greatest ally when everything goes wrong. It's useful for dragging firewood, securing roofs or windows, tying loads to your vehicle, and even improvising shelters if your home becomes unsafe. What makes paracord especially valuable is that it contains inner strands you can pull out and use as fishing line, sewing thread, or even traps in times of scarcity. Keeping ropes of different thicknesses neatly coiled and stored in a dry place is a simple yet powerful way to maintain control, independence, and peace of mind when you need